I'm with Samakshi Singh at Exhibit 320, and Samakshi has had a very interesting adventure at her studio. So we want to know what's happened and how this show today translated into it.
Sure. So, what happened with this was actually we grew up all over the country. We never had one place that we called home. And then year after year, every summer, we'd end up coming to my grandfather's house in Lajpat Nagar, where I think like everybody's grandparents' houses, like nothing ever changed. The Hajmola was in the same drawer, and the achar was in the same cabinet, and the same painting, same walls, same upholstery. So we were really used to this particular place. And then we also heard all the stories behind how he'd collected all these different objects in this drawing room of his. Right. So at one time he had a bet with the Maharaja of Mayurbhanj, the Maharaja of Mayurbhanj, and he won the bet, so he won the painting. And so there were all these crazy stories behind all these objects in this space that we were really familiar with. We spent so many evenings listening to it. And then, when he died in 2006, it was this really uncanny experience where I was like walking through this space that, this missing person had occupied. And I felt like all these familiar objects just sort of turned really strange. And I felt like I had to kind of renegotiate my relationship to all these objects, and they all seemed to change meaning. And I wanted to recreate that feeling, that disconcerting feeling that I was having for viewers somehow, where the knowledge of what they're looking at sort of disagrees with their perception of what actually is. Yeah. So what I ended up doing was I mapped the illusion of his living room by drawing on all the different objects present in my studio in such a way that from the entrance, the whole illusion lined up to look like a three-dimensional living room standing right there. Yeah. So from the entrance, when you walk into the studio, it would look like his living room was right there. And then as people walked in, of course, the whole illusion starts to fracture apart. It's totally disorienting. And they can't figure out where they are, and they simultaneously watch themselves on screen, where on the screen they're walking through the lined up illusion of my grandfather's living room. So it's like they're constantly using this mediated thing to understand their location in real space, which I think is really symptomatic somehow of our generations. Plus, I think we're all really used to having a virtual self now, like on Skype, on Facebook, etc. So this notion of how I'm located with respect to that and what the implications of my action in this space have in that space is something that, we're kind of used to. So people walk through this space, and on screen, not only does it look like they're walking through the living room, sometimes it looks like they're actually dissecting a solid object. So like they're walking in the middle of a sofa or in the middle of a chair, which gets even more disconcerting. But I've been really interested in that because I do a lot of yoga and meditation, and I've been really excited about this idea of Maya. This giving reality to things that actually don't have their own reality. And so the way these forms kind of intersect with each other, it just creates that other level of where do I end, where does this begin, what are the rules. Yeah. So it's almost like the rules of physics change a bit in that space. Yeah. It's a bit of a space-time hiccup. Yeah. And then people walk through it, and then as they start to walk through it, the movement starts to erase this fixed image that I had in my memory. And then it sort of turns into the dust, the chalk dust, which is what I've collected. In the back room, it's just sort of displayed like a little memorial, like the aftermath of a mandala after it's been destroyed. Right. So that's the project.
Wow, amazing. So we just got shot by Nandan at his artwork. We really want to know, Nandan, what is this all about?
This is about a lot of things. This is about being a photographer's grandson. This is about being in love with my country's culture. And this is about being in love with new technology and detesting it from the bottom of my heart at the same time. So this is actually about a lot of conflict, the conflict within the stereotype conflict, in the sense that I think it's something that all of us think about sometimes. I guess the only difference between an artist and a common person is that the artist translates it into his work, and the common man moves on. So anyways, this is because I just mentioned that my grandfather was a photographer, and so the things that are displayed outside are a sort of a family legacy for me. And I'm from Jaipur, and when I grew up, how your past sort of fades away, but it also stays somewhere. And so I came to Delhi to study, and things got left behind, and then computers entered our lives, where our lives started getting governed by digital technology or virtual spaces, and sort of that interaction with reality is diminishing. So I guess these works, this work outside is a result of one of those days of I don't know, one of those nostalgic trips where I revisited things, how I grew up and stuff, and a sort of a bad feeling that how such a beautiful legacy, and it has lost its value. I don't have time for it. So yeah, the work is emerged out of that.
And this whole relationship of the viewer actually becoming involved with the work itself, and kind of translating himself or herself from a subject to an object and vice versa, and not knowing where they're going. So I mean that's a very interesting kind of a point of view from looking at your work. So
I think not knowing where they're going is something you've put very well. That I think it's sort of a turmoil that happens, that where are we heading with all this, where are we really going? So anyways, I think coming back to art and leaving the existential angst aside, I think so a person gets to pose, so they get to be a part of a work of art.
right.
And this sort of a backdrop, although it's pixelated because it's in the 21st century, but it is something that we all connect with. Every Hindustani has some sort of a connection with, maybe through their mother, father, them posing as kids, or grandfathers, and so on.
Yeah.
So here I'm inviting you to relive that moment of nostalgia, but in a sort of a digital, twisted sort of a way, in the sense that it's a physical space, but it sort of is reminiscent of a digital space.
You kind of, you feel like you're within the past, but then there is this little uncomfortable feeling.
Really?
You feel that, okay, I'm with pixelated pictures over here. What's happening?
Yeah. So, okay, you're actually putting up a good question, because that's exactly the idea, that please think where you are. In the sense, the next time you go to a social networking site, or make an email account, or you go chatting anonymously, with random people, and you make this virtual ID, create sort of a secret world, and you dwell deeper and deeper into it. So yes, I would like people to get uncomfortable, not to make them feel bad, but just think a bit. What are we doing? Yeah.
Impressive work. Thanks so much.
Thank you.